Good morning, Miss Love. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Good morning. Good morning. It's going to be a good day. Good morning, Joshua. How are you this morning? Good morning, Miss Lowry. Good morning, friend. How you doing? Let me get some water. How about that? Y'all, this is my drinking. Y'all know I'm from the country, right? And this is what you drink out of in the country. And yes, I have glasses, but this right here, make sure you get your water in all day. Good morning. So I hope you guys had an amazing day yesterday. I hope that you are ready to get this day started. Because I know I am. It's going to be a great, great day. Thank you, Miss Larry, for sharing. Good morning, Miss Nicole. Hope you guys had a good day yesterday. Y'all, I watched TV for like 30 whole minutes. I watched everybody be sworn in. And then I never just like veg out. Just like if I'm even laying there, I got a book or something to read. Yesterday, I just laid there and just did nothing, which was really surprising, but it felt good. All right, so y'all, if you watched the show yesterday, we had a good time on here yesterday. We talked about I have no idea, Miss Nicole. I have no idea. You'll have to ask my mama. Louise is my middle name, if that will help. Yeah, honey, ain't nothing like some cold water in that glass when your big daddy sends you to get some water out the refrigerator and he wanted in his big glass. Ain't nothing like that. So, yesterday I hope y'all had a good time laughing at me talking about being a control freak and what I've learned about that. So I hope that helped somebody yesterday. So today, y'all, we're going to talk about going to the extreme. But first, let's do the quote of the day. The quote of the day comes from my friend Carolina Perez. And it comes from her book, Radiant Expansion. I keep saying it the wrong way. Radiant Expansion, Size Matters. And it is 95 pages. It's a good read. And the quote from the day says, when you choose to upgrade and heal your conversation with life, you start getting the strength to actually do something about the issues you encounter. Okay? When you choose to upgrade and heal your conversation with life, you start getting the strength to actually do something about the issues you encounter. So, most of us, I love this quote because it's talking about how we hold on to the anchor of our story. We hold on to the anchor of our past so that it zaps all of our energy and our strength so that we don't have time to do anything else. So we can't do anything else because we are all consumed with that thing. And being all consumed with that thing now takes away from our life. And here we are, sad, broken down, disgusted by this thing, but we keep holding on to it for a reason. Good morning, Miss Margaret. Be safe out there on the road. So, when you choose to upgrade and heal your conversation with life, you start getting the strength to actually do something about the issues you encounter. So, as you begin on this journey, right, and you start thinking differently, please be careful. You start thinking differently and you begin to release the anchors of those stories. Suddenly, you're going to find that you have way more energy than you used to, or you feel so much better. Your mind is so much freer than what it used to be. Promise you that will happen. So, the thought of the day, y'all, to the extreme. If you're from, I don't care if you're from the country or not, you've heard this. If it ain't one thing, it's another. I don't say that no more because I don't want the other to come. So I don't say that anymore. It's one thing or another. So when you live into the extreme, it's one extreme to the other. And I need us to decide which extreme we're living on. So we got Team Abundance and we got Team Lack. Those are extremes. They are opposite from each other. Absolutely, Margaret. And I think what's more frightening is the releasing of things that's frightening, because if I can't tell the story, listen, I know I've been through domestic violence, but I got a different story to tell. That's not my life story. And if you are afraid to let go of your life story, then you ain't ever going to get to what you prayed for, wished for, or think about or thought about, because you're afraid to release that story, because that story has gotten you so many things. So you got to be okay with releasing your hold on that story so that you can be free to do something else. This is what I wrote yesterday. Living is called it, and this was the thought of the day, but I had to shorten it. That's what we said, to the extreme. It says, I was called to do something extreme. I was called to do something extreme, extraordinary, out the box. JoJo was. And I think I'm not the only person. Everybody was called for that. Absolutely, Josh. What we're going to do today? And Miss Margaret, listen, I'm changing the end. We have the ability to change the end and the end of our story. You're in the middle of the chapter. You don't like it. You get to rewrite that thing. So yesterday I wrote that I was called to do something extreme, and I decided that I want to talk about that. So we are all called to do something extreme in life. Whether you want to acknowledge that, believe that, that's on you. I'm just telling you what's true. Now, we're all called to the extreme, but everything has a price in life. Everything has a price. I want you to know that healing, leaping, growing, all of that comes with a price. It all comes with the price of your mindset, your time, your commitment, maybe some friends, maybe your favorite TV show, maybe it's coming with the price. Like if you want to heal, if you want to grow, you want to jump, you want to do all the things, it's going to come with a price. Hurting, depression, sitting still also comes with a price. Come on, Miss Lowry. It was not the story. A to the man. So if hurting, depression, sitting still anchored to that one story, all of it comes with a price. What price are we willing to pay? So then my question to JoJo was, if you're living in the extreme, JoJo, and you're called to live in the extreme, and everything has a price, how much money you got to spend and what you spending it on? If I'm gonna have to pay, as my daddy say, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. That's what he used to say all the time. When I said, Daddy, anything was going on in the house, Daddy, why you do that? He said, do you pay the cost to be the boss in this house? No, sir. Then don't worry about how much it costs. If you're going to pay the cost to be the boss, right? How much money you got to spend? What you got in your pocket? Let's say we ain't got nothing, we at zero, right? We ain't got no money to spend on nothing. You're still paying the price. You're just going in the deficit. You're going in the negative. So if hurting, depression, sitting still, complaining comes with a price, healing, leaping, and growing comes with a price. Now I have an option to choose what I'm about to spend my money on. You can say you have no money, but you keep your account, meaning your self account, your energy, your mindset, your mental space. You keep that in the negative all the time. And you can't see your way out of that. But you want to be healed and you want to grow and you want to do this thing. Well, you're going to have to work backwards. You're going to have to release some of those things so that you can be in the positive. It's all going to come with a price. We have to choose which one we're going to decide. So earlier what's the day? Thursday. So was this Tuesday? No, it was Tuesday. One of them days, I had a thought in the middle of the day. And did I mention it here? Anyway, I had a thought in the middle of the day that we all say we not disciplined enough. So discipline is going to come in here, that we're not disciplined enough. Like, we know to be a leader, to go to school, to do whatever you want, to be a mama, to be a daddy, uncle, sister, whatever. It takes discipline to do whatever it is that you want to do in life. And then when somebody comes along and says, you can be a millionaire, you can start your business, you don't have to live in poverty, you don't have to do this. And people say, well, I don't have the discipline like you got. I can't release this weight because I ain't disciplined enough. Like, I like my junk food. Arguing for your limitations. I like soda. Y'all be eating all that nasty stuff. I can't eat that, honey. I'm black and we fry everything and we putting it in the... You arguing for your limitations again, okay? I'm not disciplined enough, JoJo, for that. But then the thought hit me. You disciplined enough to stay there. You are disciplined enough to stay where you are every day. Every morning you wake up and you are disciplined and struggle. You got your discipline, you got your structure to stay where you at. You disciplined enough not to move. You like it so much, you have convinced you and you're convincing everybody else around you that you're disciplined enough to stay here, that you're disciplined enough in your mind and your strength and your power that can't nothing possibly break you out of this. You so disciplined that when somebody suggested, you get mad. So again, if it's going to take discipline, if I'm going to have to pay a price, how much money I got, what discipline am I willing to apply? Thank you, Miss Nicole. I couldn't remember what day it was. So what we discipline on? And these are questions I had to ask myself. So here's some things that JoJo has done in the last 2 weeks that has helped me with my discipline. It has helped me living in the extreme if I'm going to do extreme things. So I added a TV here in the office. Well, I didn't add it on purpose. We got another one, and this one had to go somewhere. I didn't want to take it out to the building, so it sit right here. And so every morning after the morning show, after I do my walk or come back, I be like, oh, I can work and turn on some YouTube because I usually listen to books or something like that. But the TV became a distraction. And it became so much of a distraction that from about 9:30 to 11, JoJo was no good. I was either listening to the book and taking notes, or I was watching because I hate history. And the only way I can learn history is through the History Channel. I was watching that. And I was like, for me to say I don't like TV, I'm watching a heck of a lot of TV. And so from 9 to 11, ain't nothing being done. Well, clearly I got things to do. So if I'm going to be in the extreme, if I want something different, if I'm going to be disciplined to turn it on every day, I can be disciplined to turn it off. And so it hasn't been on for the past 2 weeks. Amazing. And I don't answer the phone at 8 o'clock anymore. I love my best friend. Because I used to talk to her on my morning walk. Now I substituted for listening to my book. What I would do from 9 to 11, I do up my 8 o'clock walk. And because what I would find is I would talk to her. And then we get to talking and it's 9:30 and I ain't got off the phone yet. Well, then I come take a shower, sit down. Then YouTube is on. And then I'm watching that documentary or I'm learning something. And I'm like, ooh, that'll be good. Let me put that in my journal. And before you know it's 12 o'clock and I ain't done nothing that need to be done. So you can be disciplined in whatever you want to be disciplined in. That's up to you. So my question becomes, if you already disciplined enough to keep your crazy and your chaos, can we not be disciplined enough to do something about it? So if I'm saying JoJo is going to live in the extreme, that means when I show up for boxing, we don't half show up. We're not doing that. If I'm called to live in the extreme, then I can't have show up when I sit down to do my work. I can't have show up when I do other things, because it all comes with the price. Healing, leaping, growing, changing, all of it comes with the price. Hurting, depression, less than, lack, sitting still, all of it comes with a price. So, good morning, D. So, what price, what check you writing out today? Because every morning, as if you good in country, Gerald Waddell would say, all right, your mouth gonna write a check your behind can't cash. What check you writing out this morning? How much money you got to spend? And if you're in the negative, meaning what you got, you ain't got none to spend, but you keep doing the same thing that's going to keep you in the negative, meaning you can't give no more because you ain't got no more to give. You got so much lack, honey, you can't see abundance, even if it slapped you upside your head. Boo, at that point, you need to start writing another check, perhaps. Maybe you need to be disciplined to another way. See, that it's never too late for us to decide to write a check for something else, to get out of the negative, to stop living this way. So if we're paying up, if either way I'm going to pay the price, if either way I got to be disciplined, but I'm insisting that I'm going to live to the extreme, what I'm about to do about it? What? Correct, Miss Lowry, because my daddy would tell you in a hot second. So my question is, if we living in the extreme, I want to add this for all guys, girls, if you honey, if whoever you believe in, you can add this to you. If you believe in the Creator, the universe, God Himself, right, and that He is the supplier of all things, right? He is all the things. In your prayer life, you say, I want to change the world. This is what I know you have called me to do. This is what I'm believing you for. But in your belief, in your saying the thing, because you've been paying the price for so long of negativity, you can't understand the paying the price of positivity. So when you say this is what you were called to do, but you don't believe everything the words that came out of your mouth, and then it seems like you're struggling and striving because it never comes to fruition or it never happens, and then you say, well, the Lord probably didn't want me to have it. Can we look at, again, let's go back and look at our motives and our thought processes and why we thought that way, and what part of us is really not believing that this thing is going to happen. So faith, which is a verb, that's an action that requires work. Your prayer requires work, and if you're demanding of the Creator is going to be demanding of you. And if it all comes with the price, and you name your amount that you about to pay, are you willing to, do you believe that? Or is there some part of you that says, listen, I'm going to say this, Jojo, but I don't really believe it. Been there, done that, honey. But at what point do we check ourselves and say, at what point do I not believe this thing that I say I want? Now, if I don't believe this thing that I say I want, if I don't believe this section of it, let me ask myself, why don't I believe? I don't believe I can be a millionaire. Because, Jojo, do you see where I live at now? Again, can we work this backwards? If I don't, because you got to see abundance even in your lack. So if me seeing abundance even in my lack means I've got to take a look at my bank account to decide what my next steps are, so that I'm not living at least paycheck to paycheck, and I ain't even making it paycheck to paycheck. I need to see some things. Work it backwards, boo. Find out why you're not believing for real, though. If you want to live in the extreme, because right now we're living in the extreme. Come on, Miss Lowry. We don't. You're living in the extreme right now. The extreme is you in the negative. You're in the negative with hurt, depression, mad, angry, upset, don't like nobody, don't like anything. and you keep cashing that check every day. If you want some motivation, let me tell you. This book right here. Now this is a quick read. It is 167 pages long. It's The Alchemist. You can read this in a day, and what you will find, it resembles a lot like the Bible. You'll be like, is this the Bible? Read this book if you want some quick motivation. If you want to understand some things, read this book. It will help you along the way. If you don't understand why you keep being in the deficit or the negative, or why you keep paying the price of hurt, anger, depression, sadness, go read this book. This is an easy place to start. The Alchemist. Honey, go listen. And at this rate, I think they have it for free. So when you choose to upgrade and heal your conversation with life, you start getting the strength to actually do something about the issues you encounter. Okay? That's the quote of the day. And the thought of the day is you're living from one extreme to the other. And if I know I was called to do something extreme, it's going to take extreme measures from me. Everything has a price in life. And honey, as Gerald Waddell say, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. So if I know healing, growing, leaping, changing my immediate environment, because some of us are so comfortable in our immediate environment and safe, we feel safe and secure in this immediate environment, even though it ain't serving you, that you ain't even willing to pay the price for your freedom. Some of us, our freedom is on the other end of us making that one decision. But because we're comfortable and we feel safe in what we know and what we do, we can never experience true freedom. So there's always that one thing that you can't touch, that one person that you can't get to, that one job you can't get, because it's on the other side of paying a price to be free. And because we're not willing to pay that price, because I'm comfortable, and even though this may not be serving me, I'm going to sit here in it because, again, I'm holding on to my ego. Remember, we talked about that. Yes, please go. If y'all missed yesterday's show, honey, I told my business about wanting to be a control freak. And how me wanting to be in control hurt relationships, friendships, careers. Honey, because when we want to be in control, we just checking our ego. And the freedom that you're seeking, or the different life, the different relationship, the different friendship, the different career, all of it is on the other side of the extreme. All of it is on the other side of paying the price. All of it is on the other side of your ego. So, as Gerald Waddell would say, if you're going to pay your mouth going to write a check your behind can't cash, why you keep writing that check? Why you keep spending money you ain't got? And if you find yourself in the negative, that because of hurting and depression and sitting still, all of it comes with a price, then how do you get out of that hole? First of all, you got to stop paying the price of that thing. That means you need to eliminate a bill. You need to eliminate a thing. Perhaps you can't eliminate the hurting and depression because it's going to take you a minute, but you can eliminate the sitting still. So maybe that means you get outside and you walk for today. Honey, that's putting more back into the bank account of you. Maybe you don't talk to that girlfriend anymore from 8 to 9:30 like I did, because that's putting more back into the bank account of you. So now when I look at my little sticky I wrote, I was called to do something extreme, and I'm taking away the things that are keeping me in the negative, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Now I'm putting money back into the bank of JoJo. Because it all comes with a price, boo. Healing, leaping, growing, walking in faith, living in faith, opening up your mind straight. All of it comes with a price. We just have to decide which price we're willing to pay. So how much money you got to spend? What check you going to keep cashing? What you want to spend it on? So on this absolutely amazing morning, if you missed yesterday's show, please go. We laughed a lot at JoJo because I told all of my business about me wanting to be a control freak and what that journey looks like. Today we're living in the extreme. So as you begin to live in your extreme, however you listen, and that's the thing, it can be defined however you want it to be. So the whole point of the Fearless Morning Show is to give you something to make you go, What was our quote by Socrates? That was, I forgot what it was. I can't make anybody change their mind. I can only make them think. I can't teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. That is by Socrates. And don't disrespect who you are. That's by JoJo. And I'm a firm believer that some of us in our changing and in our wanting to be and do different, we have embarrassed ourselves so much on the inside that we don't want to change on the outside, because then people will know what has happened on the inside. And boo, eventually you got to get over that. Because right there, that's where the next step is. That's where your growth is. That's where the healing is. That's where the growing and the reaping and the reward is. That's where your freedom is. You got to let go of that ego and the persona of that you're in control of all things, honey, when it's all crumbling down. It's hard to keep crazy going when crazy is on fire. And we talked about that, striking that match, honey. You setting stuff on fire every day, but you want to be in control, but you keep setting things on fire and wondering and surprised why it's on fire, why it ain't working when you're doing the same thing to get the same result. So on this lovely day, as you live in the extreme today, even if you don't want to live in the extreme, you just want to be better than you were yesterday. Okay? That's cool. You can do that. But no, everything comes with a price in life. How much money you going to spend? How many times you going to cash that check that keep bouncing and giving you the same thing over and over and over again? Healing, leaping, growing comes with a price. Hurting, depression, sitting still, sadness, all of it comes with a price. I ain't saying you're going to be able to check everything off the list today, but I'm saying, well, you can look at that list and check something off. Even if that's reading something different, listening to something different, moving yourself. The choice, my friend, is yours. When you choose to upgrade and heal your conversation with life, when you choose that I'm going to live in the extreme, but that it requires you to heal your conversation with yourself. Like, I've had some ugly conversations with JoJo. Like, JoJo, that was so messed up, honey. Sorry, ain't ever going to cover it. Ever going to cover it. When you start to heal your conversation with yourself and heal your conversation with life. Like, life may not have treated you fairly, but you start to heal yourself with that. You start to actually gain strength to do something about the issues that are sitting in front of you and how to live past them. But you got to be willing to do the work. And my friend, if you're not willing to do the work, you will continue to cash that check from that account that you ain't got no money in. And you will be living in the extreme. Just maybe not the extreme that you assumed. Maybe that's why we don't have the life that we think we want or say we want. Because we're not willing, we're not disciplined enough to get it. We're not willing to pay the price to get to what we want or to be where we are, to have the relationship that we want to have. Just a thought. And then we will always do confessions and conversations with JoJo. So when I have these questions, I'm going to ask them to you. The quote from yesterday, any wage I have asked of life, life would have willingly paid. Meaning anything you ask of this life, you can have. What you ask for is what you get. So what are you asking? And are you willing to pay the price for that? So on this lovely day, I hope y'all have the most amazing day ever. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's nothing after that. I want you to upgrade your conversation and heal your conversation with yourself and your life. Okay? Right there, that's where growth is about to start. Right there is where you're going about to live in the extreme. Okay? Baby steps. Celebrate those baby steps. You want a book to read? You need some little motivation? The Alchemist is a good place to start. You can probably find a PDF of this online and read it. It is such a quick read. You can read it in a day. And I have literally read this in a day. A couple of times. When you need a little motivation. So on this absolutely amazing day, as you're called to live in the extreme. And you are, make no doubt about it. It's just you deciding which extreme you want to live in. I hope you have the most amazing day ever. I will show you to be peaceful. There we go. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's nothing after that. Don't forget, I do have the 14 Days of Self-Love Challenge coming up February the 1st. Y'all, I'm a firm believer. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. Yesterday, there's like, ain't no good men out here. Everybody getting married but me. How come I can't find a good man? Honey, when I tell you that safety and security and confidence that you're seeking from someone else, I don't care who give it to you, it'll never be enough until you give it to yourself. And until you're ready to do the self-love of you and get down dirty with it and understand that journey, that will always be your story. And it will never come. And it will never be the right person. And even if they come, they can never love you enough to make you feel any better, because you first have to give it to yourself. So on this self-love journey, honey, you will be learning all about how JoJo walked through that thing. Because there were relationships I wanted so bad, honey. I wanted badder than I could breathe. I wanted them so bad. I'm crying and carrying on, but I had to give it to myself first. Either you're going to stand inside your story and own it, or you're going to stand outside your story and hustle your worthiness. And I had to begin to own my story and own all things JoJo first. And understand my value. Then everything extra came with it. So make sure you join. I think it's $19.99 to join that 14-day challenge. So please make sure you sign up for that. I forgot the bit.ly. I will find that for you guys today and post it so that you can join me on that. So I hope you have the most amazing day ever. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's nothing after that. Please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. Friends and family don't have Facebook. Y'all should know this by now. Send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. We have 7 books. Don't forget that. Not only do we have the 7 books, we have the movie. We have the podcast, everywhere podcasts are found. Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, so you can take us with you on the go. And if they don't do any of that, please tell them I said good morning. So I hope you guys have a great day. Please be peaceful. Please be safe. And I'll see you guys here bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.